Ah, the child of Baal has awoken. It is time for more experiments. The pain will only be passing. You should survive the process. Interesting. You have much untapped power. Do you even realize your potential?
More intruders have entered the complex.
They act sooner than we had anticipated. No matter, they will only prove a slight delay.
Wake up, you. Wake up! Come on, we have to get out of here.
Emwyn, what's going on? This is the episode 9 for our story run for Ilthas, our dragon disciple for Baldur's Gate 2, and we find ourselves in a dungeon. Weren't we just in Baldur's Gate? Didn't we just leave to handle Kalar and her terrible forces? Well, now we are subject to experiments from a mad wizard. Well, we think he's mad. Anyway, Emwyn doesn't want to remember all the details we're asking her. It doesn't necessarily seem fair for us to be asking her so many questions. She says, "Come on, Ilthas, don't make me think about all the stuff he's done to us. He did a lot of the same stuff to you, the way I heard you screaming." And Ilthas says, "I want to know who's behind this. I owe them a great debt of pain." Emwyn says later, "Listen, I'm sorry, but we need to get out of here now. This isn't like normal pain. This is deep on the inside. It's like my bones have made little daggers and they won't go away. Look, don't look at me like that. It just hurts so much. There must have been something in the noise or something like that. There was a fight and assassins came after us. And I think they were after our captor. There's a whole bunch of people dead all over. The fighting's still going on. I could hear it. Are you going to get moving, or do I have to get out of here without you?" And Ilthas says, "We're not going to get very far on our own. Is there anyone here that we can bring with us?" She points out Minsk and Chihira behind us. We can use their assistance. We've traveled with them before, so we have some experience in their skills, their unique skills. Maybe Khalid and Dynahair might be somewhere in this dungeon as well. But we should look around and try to see if we can find some equipment somewhere. Or some weapons somewhere. Might not be our best stuff since a lot of that was probably sold. You don't get to run a facility like this and live on a pauper's salary.
Let's get it done.
I see that Emwyn has greatly grown in her skills as a wizard. Very impressive. Fortunately, she also retains her abilities as a archer.
What do you want?
And a rogue. As for Ilthas, well, he of course has gained abilities of his own. He casts Stone Skin. They go to the back room and they pick up a strange-looking key along with some additional equipment.
Good to go?
Emwyn, of course, retaining her thief skills, unlocks the trap, or unlocks the painting.
Minsk will be free. These bonds will not hold my wrath. Butts will be liberally kicked in good measure.
Minsk, your mighty warrior spirit must find these bars unbearable. Minsk says that he wishes to be released. The anger in him is so great indeed. He must find his way out and liberally kick to the evil that brought him in. We ask about Dynahair, and he says her spirit is trapped in this place. Yes, that's right. They killed her. They killed her as he watched. He doesn't know who they were. There's no name to the rage that he feels, but he has to redeem himself. Emwyn says, "Minsk, that's horrible. I'm so sorry for you." And Minsk says, "Listen, I'll only cry a little bit, but I'm a ball of raging, righteous fury. Lullaby and good night, evil. Minsk will make you pay for what you've done to my friends. Of course, he has that thick accent from Rashomon. He is a Rashomon berserker, and he asks for our aid in opening this, but the problem is that it doesn't look like there's any way out. Minsk doesn't know a way either. It looks like they've sealed up the cage. They've smithed it. He says he's proud that they've feared him so greatly to imprison him permanently. Permanently? Ilthas says that's going to make things really difficult, Minsk. And Minsk says, you keep talking. You never give up. I know this. A hero always succeeds. A hero never stops short of his goal. Ilthas says, listen, I would try, but I need to do this on my own time. I have maybe some spells. No, Minsk says. Not good enough. You do not claim to cut my chains. You wish to yank them. My berserker rage is great. And he grabs the bars and begins to bend the metal around them, ripping and raging.
The bars, they bend and twist with my berserker strength. Minsk and Boo are free. Now you will not. No. Oh, you are a smart one. I understand now. You said what you did just to get me mad. Mad enough to break free. Ha ha. You are as smart as Boo sometimes.
Well, we try. And now he says we can resume our adventures together. I have friends to avenge and villains to attack. About the face and neck, right, Boo? And Ilthas says, yes, together we will answer for the fallen. Let's get going, man. Minsk says, together answer they shall. My sword will dull with its first question. And Ilthas notices that he is still bringing about his strange little friend, a hamster named Boo. Boo is really the true hero of the story. Ilthas, Emwyn, Minsk, they're all along for the ride. Minsk, of course, is a Rashimi berserker, but he's also a ranger, which means that he has an animal companion. Although, it is a good question to ask of how did he keep it from our captors? Minsk says, do not ask questions, better left to aged sages. Boo is quick and evasive, and there is ever so much of Minsk to search. There is no hope of getting us apart. One has the right idea. She doesn't really want to think about that much, but to be fair, Minsk did say that we shouldn't think about it too much. We shouldn't ask too many questions, rather. So, while other rangers might have a mighty tiger or wolf or eagle to watch over them, Minsk has Boo, the hamster. He is such a great and powerful warrior that he doesn't need a large beast to protect him. He is man enough to take on any foe. Ilthas says, it is time for us to go, Minsk. Let's answer for the fallen. Let's go. And Minsk says, Boo thinks that we get a little
I'm just
worried.
glad I could
Quickly,
help.
we must get out of here before whoever did this returns. I swear, traveling with you is never dull.
And this is Jaheira. Jaheira is our half-elf companion. She's a druidess, and maybe she might have an answer as to how we ended up here. She says we could navel gaze about it all day, but what brought us here will certainly prove pointless if we don't get out, or get ourselves out of immediate danger. She says she doesn't know who captured us. She's simply waiting for their return. There's no point in doing that. We might as well take the advantage to escape. Jaheira says, I could recount what led us here as you wish, but I don't think we have much time to be talking about. Khalid, my husband, and I have traveled with Ilthas for some time. And the places that they've discovered have been too many to name. Mostly around the Sword Coast, between Nashkel, the northern part of the country of Am, and the city of Baldur's Gate, and up above Baldur's Gate. So Jaheira welcomes us, or we welcome Jaheira. We've had her as part of had her join us along with her husband, her and her husband, as part of the last wishes of my foster father, Ilthas' foster father, Gorion. They were all friends once. And so we can ask, where is Khalid? He's not with you. And she says, I don't know where he is. That worries me. No doubt he was taken as we were, though it seems we were meant for different fates. That's not a good sign. But we can try to find him, maybe help him recover from whatever else he's been through. From the state of my head, I think I might have been drugged. Though I think I've spared most of the torture that you have gone through. She looks at the cage. Ilthas looks as well. And there's a keyhole. Ilthas says, I think I found the key. And she says, you've got the key that fits? Open the door already. Must I hand walk you through this?
I will push you to feet.
Awaits.
Yes, that's a relief. Yes, Jaheira is headstrong. She's a bit pushy, but she is, of course, a great ally nonetheless. So we're going to have her join us. And we can leave immediately and then celebrate once we're out of this prison, this hole. If we are in a hole, indeed. She says, do you have it? Though there are other friends that we must find as well. Of course, I'm sure that she knows about Dynahair and her passing. We can, of course, find Khalid somewhere in this dungeon. And maybe there are others.
Fine. A challenge.
Let's talk to the jailkeep, Golem. Prisoners, you must escape. It's very single-minded. Must not escape. Sorry. Golem is not encouraging us to escape. And of course, Emwyn, who has studied the art of magic, speaks about how the golem is a powerful construct. It takes a powerful mage, powerful wizard to have one. And the fact that there's one just watching the jail and not even attacking is a sign of how powerful the mage is who is keeping us. So, the jail keep Golem, of course, says you are his prisoners. He has brought you to his home because he owns you now. You must return to your cell. It is the master's will. Who is this master that you speak of? Jailkeep says, I am not permitted to speak with the prisoners. Return to your cells. It is the master's wish. Very single-minded, mindless Golem. We're not going to get any answers from him. You must not disobey the master. Return to your cells. With that, we'll go ahead down this way. And of course, we come across a strange machine that generates electricity. Perhaps this is some sort of power source. We shut off the power source before more of the annoying Memphits come about.
It's as good as done.
And we come across a strange looking room. Looks like a... well, I don't know what this is. I mean, we haven't seen anything like this on our travels before. How does he know our name? What's going on here? Says your name is well known to those who watch. Your life is a thread indeed, though your path has many a dark and frayed end. So it seems that this being sees multiple paths that we can go down. Hopefully, he doesn't see one of those dark paths as the main path. So, we ask, what use can he be of us? Such assistance as you will get from me depends on yourself. Are you prepared to answer a question? And Ilthas says, I'll answer a question as long as it makes sense. And he says, very well, hypothetical situation. You and your sibling are captured and locked in separate cells, unable to communicate. The mage responsible appears and speaks. He explains his sadistic game. In each cell, there's a magic button. If you press the button and your sibling does not, you will die and your sibling will go free. If your sibling presses the button and you do not, they will die, but you will go free. If neither of you push the button, then you both will die. However, if both of you end up pushing the button, then you both will die. The mage says that you have 1 turn of the hourglass to make your decision. Then he leaves. So the hypothetical situation is either I can guarantee, and of course makes this is silly. After all, buttons and not how one escapes dungeons is breaking down the glass or breaking down the cage and then liberally beating the mage for playing such a trick. So the hypothetical situation is to gauge if you are willing to sacrifice yourself for the chance that your sibling will go free, or are you greedy enough to possibly die for the chance of getting free yourself, or letting your sibling die. Of course, Ilthas, being pretty brave and willing to sacrifice himself for any sibling he has, says he'd be willing to push the button. And the strange being here says no action is without consequences, especially that which follows the noble path. Deal with this, noble one. Seems that a powerful ogre has arrived.
What do you want? All right.
Time for us to deal with him. Deal with him actually relatively quickly, thanks to the magic of Ilthas and his minute meteors. The being says, well done. It appears that you can deal with the consequences of your action. In return, I shall give you some advice. Go to Relieve. Offer him what he craves, and he should give you guidance as to how to get out of this dungeon. With that, he leaves. You pick up his remains, the ogre mage's remains. We notice that we don't have much as far as supplies go, but we could try to get our way out by continuing forward. And what are these? Some sort of dwarf? But they seem dark. Their beards seem unusual.
Ready and will, no problem at all.
Very strange. We cast magic at them. Still resistant to magic, so
Someone clean up this mess.
don't seem to be using overly powerful weapons.
Go for the eyes! Yeah!
They go down fairly easily. They seem to
I have
have
yet to meet a danger I cannot defeat.
modest weapons. Huh. What are these dwarves? Very strange. Multiple paths we can go down. I won't go down the main path. We may have to open those doors later on, but for the moment, let's deal with these strange dwarves. Ooh. And when it casts a powerful chromatic orb, it petrifies one of the dwarves. You see, petrification is a double-edged sword. Sometimes it's a good, nice, quick, easy way to get rid of an opponent. On the other hand, they leave their equipment behind.
Who be thee?
Who is this?
Servants of the master?
This must be Relief. Oh, gods, what happened to him? He says, I'm dying. Or I'm dead. I don't remember which. Where's the master? Relief seems to be some sort of servant of the mage who brought us here. We can ask more details. Who is this master who you speak of? He says he was my friend, I think. Cast out. One of us no longer. I can't remember. Are you going to take my place? Ilthas says, servant of the bastard who took me? Hell no. Relief says, strangers be ye. Things have gone bad since I've died. Threaten not the master, for you shall surely driven power he seeks. So, again, is this Relief alive or dead? And he says, neither. I'm in between. Obviously, he's connected to some sort of life-sustaining equipment. It's trapped in a jar. That seems to be a pretty hellish way to live. So, Why? I mean, you were his trusted servant. Why on earth would he trap you there? It doesn't make any sense. It's something about eternal life, and the fact that Relieve has been offered eternal life, and this is that form of eternal life. Be careful what you wish for, right? Begin to understand. The master left my side for study of another. He seeks to awaken power. Seeks to awaken power, the study of life and death. I cannot bear the roll of the years. He has forgotten because he does not wish to remember what has fallen. I can barely remember myself.
Release.
Well, Ilthas can help try to release him from this death,
I no longer
this
wish
non-death.
to come back.
It seems desperate. Calmly, my friend, how can we help? He says, this unit sustains me and powers my cells by crystals. Take them and I can sleep. Die. Again. Die at last. We're being asked to end the life of this individual. It's his final request. Freedom from eternal life trapped in a jar. He says, I know you are prisoners, and some things do not change. You must escape from this place, and the Master and his experiments. There are others who are like me. Failed experiments. Truly, truly tragic. So it seems that he wants us to find the other prisoners who are trapped like him. He says that maybe they can help answer questions about how to get out of here or who this master is. And Ilthas says, I can take the cells and revive the other inhabitants. Have peace at last. And with that, he reaches and he grabs the device.
Go and leave me to oblivion at last.
And slowly Relieve passes from this world.
He's dead now? This pathetic creature.
And Emwyn, of course, says she can't look away. I've seen death in our scuffles before, but, I mean, nothing. Watch this life end. It's different, you know? It's different. The heat of battle, trying to defend yourself. It's either you or them, and, you know, trying to make sure that you survive. It's different from what we're experiencing here now. She says she can't look away. Well, admittingly, death is not always to be feared. I wouldn't want to live like that. She says death is pretty. Why would I think like that? Oh, Ilthas, I've got to get out of this place. And with that, we see his body is floating in the tank, deactivated and dead. Go to this table, and there's a strange stone here. The energy cells are here. They're helped to power the life support unit. They most likely work on other units as well. And then we have the strange activation stone for a sewage golem. Oh, it does smell. Of course, we go in, and lo and behold, there are other cells here, similar to what the poor was sustaining poor Relieve.
I know this room. I've been in here. We both have. There are things in these tanks. They used to be people.
Oh, good lord. They used to be people? She says, what kind of monster is this guy? He captures us as easy as pie, kills whoever he wants, then could have, they could have been us in these glass tubes. I'm sure we'll soon find it. Sure, we'll find him soon enough. I have some questions to ask him. She says, Ilthas, I don't care if he can make us 3 ogres strong. I have to get out of this place. It bothers me, making us think I see things. Okay, well, everyone, of course, is experiencing some trauma. Many of these are already dead, despite whatever equipment we use. This tortured one says, Master! Master, you must hurry! The prisoner will break soon! Soon you will have all the answers that you seek! No! No, Master! I had the golem open the cells. He has the key. Oh, I beg your forgiveness, Master. But did you not leave the cell key at the table in the jailer's rooms? Oh, Master. Master, please. Oh, thank you, Master. Thank you. I shall return to the prison. Interesting. Try to talk with another one. Ah, Master! Master, is that you? I can hardly see. It's been so long. I have been so alone. All alone. Ilthas, of course, taking advantage of this, but being honest and saying that he is not the master. I did not mean to go into the mistress's room. I knew it was dangerous. So very dangerous in there. I wasn't trying to steal anything, truly. I wasn't trying to steal anything of the mistress's. I would never do that. I am faithful to you, always. Why am I here, Master? What have you done to me? Ilthas says, Do you not hear me, do you? How very sad what he's done to you. But we know that there is a mistress of this place, and we know that this mistress has a room that the servants are not allowed into, under threat of possibly being, well, put into a jar like this. So we need to be careful. Of course, he pleads for us to save him, but there's not much that we can do. As hard as I could hit, or rather, as hard as I could have Minsk hit one of these jars, there's no guarantee that this poor individual would live. You know, this one here, how long have I lain? Behind this prison of glass, I do weep and rage. It's not clear who this is, whether it's a servant, so we can ask how long has he been in this. I have called out so many times to thee, Master, Master, why have you forsaken me? Why hast thou left me to this bottle to suffer and wither? Why? And of course, Ilthas realizes this is yet another servant. He's not going to tell us anything either. And he says, Master, did thou place me here out of kindness? Have you forgotten me? But why are there so many of these units? Why are there so many abandoned servants? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Poor creature, I can do nothing for you. Mink says, I would hate to be forgotten in a bottle. Depends somewhat on the type of bottle, but overall, I expect the effect would be similar. It's not right. And this poor... Of course, I get startled a little bit by the quick shift. And...
Go for the eyes! Go for the eyes! Yeah!
And some sort of...
Get it done.
We talk to the sewage golem. I think it might be wise for us to act as if we are the master. So, he's cleaned the sewage chambers and fed the guardian. Yes, I do wish you to open the doors and perform your duties. And he asks for an activation stone, which we of course have in our inventory, so we'll give that to him, and he goes off on his own. We of course investigate these tables to find a very pleasant surprise. The Grave Binder. This of course was a powerful weapon that we had in our inventory last time, or rather, that in Baldur's Gate. We take out
I'm just glad I
group
could
of
help.
strange dwarves. Well, we start the attack against the strange dwarves.
Swords,
Ilthas
not
does take
words.
out a few of them.
Great fun! Right?
Emwyn and Ilthas trap one of them. The fighters fight against another one, and well, doesn't have much of a chance. Of course, there is. If one is going to keep running away, there's one away to that.
I have yet to
And
meet
that's
a
what we
danger
do.
I cannot defeat.
And of course, we also find equipment. We go into the library, the next room over. I guess a library, as much as one could call it a library, looks around. It's
and
not
raring
very
to go.
large. There's of course equipment, such as healing potions nearby too.
Without ye bothering me.
A strange individual, Illich. Looks like we've got company. Prisoners. You've come to the wrong place. Illich and his boys will stop you. And of course Jaheira says that we have no quarrel with the Duergar. Illich says, suffice to you, this place be doom.
Next
Utter
time.
lads, no mercy. And with that, we have to try taking out these goons. Also, protect our allies.
Who says
Your
what?
servant awaits.
Try and maybe move her out of direct combat. Oh, she
With
seems to be okay.
vengeance!
There we go. I think we need to deal with, first this... What do we gotta deal with? We need to deal with this village character. Low on spells.
Fine. A
But we can
challenge
still
worthy
use
of-
this. There we go.
Those dwarves that attacked us. I read about them when you were skipping out of lessons back in Candlekeep.
Yeah, we did skip a lot of the lessons at Candlekeep. She reminds us of the Duergar. Kind of evil, I guess. So I'm not surprised that they'd be working with our captor. He tolerates some company. Or maybe they're skilled pack horses to him. And that actually kind of makes sense with having evildoers and monsters and whatnot in the dungeon. I doubt he cares for anything more than his own self. Emwyn is, of course, continuing to contemplate about this strange wizard who captured us.
I await your need.
Heal up a bit. Let's take a step back
Let's get
into
it
this
done.
strange array of books, this makeshift library. And of course, loot those who have tried to kill us. Very nice armor and acorns.
Oh,
Strange.
this reminds me so much of Candlekeep. Dusty old tomes all over, bookcases nearly spilling. It's like we never left.
And she says, we did leave, didn't we? I don't want to go home again. Or I just want to go home again. Doesn't matter where it is, just as long as someplace I can find and call home. She's absolutely right. It'd be nice if we had just some place that we call home. Us and our friends.
Continue
Continue down this way. Not many spells that we can cast, but we'll go ahead and try casting Doom on this individual.
Something up?
have yet to meet a danger.
A strange door there with the symbol of an air elemental. What's this?
What?
Device? And some sort of monster behind this. What is this? The device would probably activate the monster, allow us to attack it.
Something up?
Looks to be some sort of cambion. What? Cambion? It's
No,
like a type of demon, isn't it?
Oh.
I'll have to be careful.
Time to move?
Oh, that is not careful. How many spells I can cast
You
here?
can count on me.
But it does go down. Gives us a magical bastard sword. We'll continue through to the library. Down this pathway here. What is that? What on earth is that? We of course use haste to speed ourselves up, and thank goodness. Mix seems to have been slowed down, diseased or poisoned somehow. More dwarves come to attack us, we have to take them out.
It's as good as done.
For the fallen! For creature
That.
Great fun! Right?
If I have to fight to get out of here, so
Great fun!
More dwarves? Dorgar, rather. We're gonna shorthand and call them dwarves in this dungeon. This room, it's beautiful. And highly trapped.
Stinking evil!
And
Cover your nose.
looks like this air elemental statue could be what we're looking for. Let's rest and try to think about this. It would take several hours to rest.
I to you. You sure have some kind of courage to sleep in this place. I would have run screaming a dozen times over if you weren't here.
Yeah, it seems safe enough. It doesn't seem like we needed to take our chances regardless. If we were gonna succeed. I mean, my spell power was limited, your spells were limited, Jaheira needed recharging, and, well, Minsk. I mean, he can go forever. She says, I guess it depends. Or I guess I'm used to sleeping with both eyes open. I don't deal with this well. We're alike because of Gorion, but I prefer to be in the background. Well, I suppose. But I don't remember you. I remember you not hesitating to step up when needed. She says, well, when people are in danger, sure. Winthrop taught me how to get out of trouble, but Gorion always said that there are times where it's worth getting into it. It sounds like good Gorion, I remember, but still details about him. I just don't remember him so much. She says he was a great mage, supposedly a great adventurer. It's funny, we lived with him for years, but Jaheira probably knows him better than I did. Jaheira says, nonsense. He was secretive with everyone. We had mutual acquaintances. She's of course referring to the Harpers. Emwyn says, I guess that he's a big friend of the Harpers. I even got a visit from Kelvin Blackstaff once. Real powerful mage. Talked to Gorion like an equal. I wish I could go back there. Back to those days. Before all this fuss and bother. Before I learned, well, we've seen so much. Candlekeep seems so small now. Yeah. It always was small. It was home, but I did outgrow it. She says, funny. I was sorry to go, but I couldn't let you wander off on your own. Not that I'm much help now. My head still aches. Keep seeing things. Too much death around here. Everywhere. It's even me. We won't be able to walk away, you know? Guy captured us. He knows about you. He said something about your potential. Something. Ilthas, say we won't look back. I don't care if he can, quote, tap into our power or whatever. I just don't want to deal with this. We gotta get away from all this death. And Ilthas says, if it were just me, I might be interested in what he wants. But I'm not going to see you get harmed any further. The torture, there's just no reason for it. And Emwyn says, I appreciate that. But I doubt he meant you any good either. Didn't spare you in knives any more than he spared me. Come on. We gotta get away from all these shadows. Now, we have the air elemental statue, so it might be worth our while to head back to the strange door here.
Find
Open it up.
a challenge worthy of
This
just getting started.
This place seems strange, and Emwyn is absolutely right, because it appears that it is, well, I don't even know.
Nature could find a room here for
I have yet to meet a
Perhaps it has something to do with air, like the plane of air or something?
The more
Air
challenging,
elemental.
the better.
That's the only that's. And here we come across a, well, no other way of putting it. It's the proverbial genie in a bottle. It doesn't necessarily seem to be overly concerned about our escaping. Seeking a magical item. He has a magical item of ours? He says he does. A thing of power that still carries a hint of your essence. There's something odd about the signature you leave in this item. Oh, no matter. Okay, so can we have it? He said if I had the power to give you the weapon, I would. But force binds me to keep it. The force that binds me to keep it is strong. It's trapped within this flask. So he asks us simply to find his real flask. The flask here is some sort of caged flask that he can't seem to get away from. So he proposes that we find the real flask, and that sounds like a fair trade. Find his real flask, let him go, and we get the weapon. All right, well, he says it's unbreakable, so he's naturally going to keep it. This wizard. So, where do you think we can find the flask? And the genie thinks for a moment. He says, well, be close to himself. Perhaps he keeps it in his chambers or with his dryad concubines. Or maybe one of the golems has it. Well, I highly doubt one of the golems has it. They don't really have anything for carrying it. Dryad concubines. That would be close to himself. Very strange. So, he says he cannot pinpoint its location from another plane. Probably why this wizard opened up this plane to another plane. This door to another plane. Makes sense. And it probably is using the energy of this plane to help power a lot of his equipment and items in the main laboratory. So we return back to the inhabitants of, or the very fine room where we rested.
I have yet to meet a danger I can't
come
meet.
across what look to be dryads. So, who are these ladies? Who are you and what's going on? One says we are his possessions, his servants, another one says. The third says his concubines. Please, help us escape. Well, being that we are prisoners ourselves, why not? How can we help you? The main one says that if you can escape, you can take our acorns to the queen. Tell her all about what's happened here. And she says that we are, that if we deliver the acorns to a place of Windspear Hills to the fairy queen there, she will be able to teleport this and free them from this Irenicus. We see the name of our captor at last, Irenicus. Jahira, of course, asks why on earth we were taken, and one of them in the back says that we were supposed to instill emotion, but he's buried inside. So, One of them says if we can foil the plans for us, take the acorns, and she can regrow our trees and free us. That sounds like a good deal. Perhaps if you have the genie's flask. One of them says, yes, we do have the flask. If you agree to bring the acorns, we'll give the flask. Trade of services. Absolutely. I will happily take your acorns to the Fairy Queen in exchange for the flask. So we will have our first, I guess, task that we'll need to do once we get out of this hole is to find Windspear Hills, wherever that is, and bring them to, or bring the acorns there to the Fairy Queen. She hands us the flask, and they tell me about the acorns. Oh yes, that's right, Illich, he had acorns on him. Well, Illich is dead, and we have the acorns now. She says, we've done a noble thing for us. Take the acorns to the Fairy Queen that lives northeast of a human settlement called Trademeet. Naturally, I guess that's close to where Windspear Hills is. Trademeet. Trademeet, where is that? I still don't even know where we are. Uses her key. Ah, so now they're talking about the what's in the
so beautiful.
Mrs.
I used to
room.
dream of dryads and their beautiful trees.
And one of them says, "You are welcome among us. Youthful exuberance is music, and we've not heard for some time." And then one says, "I used to dream," but he doesn't. Your charms don't work on him anymore, do they? How would you know this? He has touched you, hasn't he? Irenicus searches for something he cannot find. He looks within those that he instills. They contemplate the name. Death sounds different. Irenicus showed me. Spit on his name. I spit on this place. It's clear that something much, much darker happened to Emwen. Something that really should go unsaid. So she says, live as you can, where you must. Emwen says, I have learned something different. So beautiful you are. I almost can't see you. I just want to go home. Ilthas, when can we go home? Well, we're one step closer. And would you look at this?
What is this place? It's beautiful. Oh, there is simply no way that this space belongs to the same person that owns those horrible glass containers.
Perhaps a side of him that we haven't seen. She says, no, this can't be. Not the person I know. Not this bed, not this table. I know of them. He would speak of them while he is therefore lost love, kept in perfect condition. She despises him. This is a monument to her. He spoke of all this, but his voice was so cold. Yeah. This obviously is not his space. No doubt, though, that, well, she says there's no emotion at all. Not even remembered. He spoke of things that even when he cut, and spells that wove into my brain, cold, ugly things. So it seems that there's no emotion, not even like what he remembered of the emotions. Well, now I would tell Emwen that this mage can't hurt us now. You're among friends. Emwen says it still hurts. His sick fingers are in my head, doing whatever he wanted. I see blood and death behind my eyes. Irenicus. this room. If he could care for anything, he could care for this room. Above the lives of all of us. It makes me sick. I feel sick. Tired. So much hate. I would burn this place. Leave it nothing. Even so much he'd touch. It is nothing. Well, we need to get the portal key that was mentioned, hence the portal key, to help us teleport around here. So, we need to make our way out. Now, no doubt... Oh! It appears that traps were not the only guardians of this place. Now we had to face against two golems. Alright, we need to figure out a way to deal with these golems. Don't have much specifically, so we can charge her in combat. And then we're gonna get her out. We do take them out. And of course, we have the Genie's Flask, so we can head straight back to the plane of air. And we make the exchange. At last, I am free. So, we're in the business of freeing all of this wizard's prisoners. Thank you. And so we click on this, and it appears to be the Sword of Chaos. This was the blade that Sarevok wielded. This was mentioned back when we were in Baldur's Gate. Yes, that's right. This mage must have tried to use this to try to connect with Baal's power, our father.
A challenge worthy of me.
Now it's time to go deeper into this dungeon.
There is sanity
hopefully
in
not
all
deeper.
this madness. If you are not in league with the evil that dwells in this unholy place, Yoshimo begs your assistance.
Who is this man? Jahira is skeptical. She says this is a ruse used many times by servants of the wizard themselves. The man says, "Whoa! Not me. I'm just trying to get my way out of here. I'm myself a warrior and have no evil intentions." And the assistance you shall get, Yoshimo. What ails you, my friend? Yoshimo says that he's not sure how he came here, but he suspects that he's been trying to get his way out, but he was wounded in his attempt to do so. So, might be a good idea for us to maybe work with him, or maybe listen to him and figure out how he got here. Yoshimo says it's a little bit embarrassing. My profession doesn't leave myself open to those who are not wary. Yet somehow I was caught completely unaware. I came to Athla-Katla years ago from Korator to seek my fortune. At some point, I went to bed in my room at the Copper Coronet, and I woke in a strange room with a very sore head. Common thing. Yoshimo says, I don't know how long I've been here before waking. So, we ask him, of course, do you think that we're still in Athkatla? Now, Athkatla, I believe, is the capital of It's considerably further to the south of us. And, it would be pretty far away. Well, I mean, it's bordering country. So, Yoshimo does say he's unsure. He has been drugged when he was brought here. He may have even been unconscious. Either way, he doesn't know how long he's been under here in this dungeon. So it is possible that we're in Athkatla, but it's not entirely certain. Yeah, so he's basically concerned that there could be there are going to be, of course, traps up ahead. And Mink says So Yoshimo does say he doesn't know how exactly to escape, but he says that we could work together. We might as well have him join us. I mean, he's the first human, normal person to actually be, not attack us. Or not be completely helpless and trapped. So Yoshimo says in the next chamber, there seem to be strange beasties that come from portals. They're all lined up across the wall. The little beasties use strange abilities. These might be Memphits of some kind. Yeah, we've had to face against Memphits ourselves, so... Of course, there's a whole other room that has wands lined up. And one of the things we've actually gotten to pick up are a few keys. And these keys could lead to anything, but they specifically feel unique. One of them, of course, feels cold to the touch, and that is apparently some sort of dealing with the cold.
You
so
require my
maybe
counsel,
they have
yes?
to use some magical effect.
Ready and willing.
We'll see. Well, we summon some monsters and we deal with the rest of the beasties in the best way possible, and letting the monsters deal with the damage. And Jaheira is immune to all of the effects due to the fact that she is protected by a sanctuary spell. Take out the portals while our
second chance.
we make a grim discovery.
No. This is an illusion, a dream. A bad dream. Where are the levers, the switches to pull to show where he's hidden? Khalid! Damn you.
Seems that Irenicus killed our friend, Khalid, Jaheira's husband. She vows vengeance. Ilthas says, what happened to her? Jaheira snaps, shut up! No more words. Words are nothing. Yoshimo says, I knew him not, but I mourn for your loss. Stranger? Nobody? I don't hear your words. Leave me. Mick says, a brave man has fallen today, but there's no reason to be throwing insults to the living. Here, let Buins comfort you. It's just imbecile. Affront of nature. No words. No more words. Save your speeches and your proverbs. The only voice I wanted to hear was his. His. It's no more. Sylvanas, guide the light to the source. She gives a quick prayer to her druid goddess, or druid god. Yes, druid god. Khalid of my heart, let my love guide the way. It's tragic. We faced death many times. In fact, some of our companions have been killed, but we've been able to possibly, resurrect them. Jaheira brings up this possibility, and Ilthas agrees. Says there may be ways to bring him back to life. Should we not try? Khalid is dead. There's time beyond a point when trying to revive those who have killed doesn't work. If it's passed beyond that time, well, bad things happen. It's better to let go. Ilthas says we'll not disturb his body any further. We'll honor his loss with future deeds. Jaheira says that is the way of things. There will be payment for this crime. And I'm not going to rest until I've collected that payment. Enough. I would leave this place.
That's how sorry I am about Khalid. I know this is hard.
No! You do not. This is not the time for this conversation, Jack.
Emwyn says, stop calling me child. I'm as old as Ilthas, and besides, I can tell you that Khalid did not suffer. Jahira says, what are you talking about? What are you babbling about, Jahira? Emwyn, I'm not in the mood. Emwyn says, I am not babbling. I saw him do this. Khalid was dead when our captors started doing things to him. Jahira says, you saw that? You watched? You watched as this was done? Emwyn says, he showed me. He cut and he showed me. He forced my eyes open and made me look as he... Stop. I don't want to hear this. Emwyn says, he cut and he said I should see, but understand. Be quiet, child. Go in. And with that, our summons go down.
This sounds
of course,
like it could be fun.
Loot the room. We actually have a few of our summons still up. And we come across an escaped clone and an assassin. Well, there's no reason why this assassin should be
I'm just glad I could help.
doing what he does, so we should probably just take him out. Right? Like this escaped clone, maybe they need help.
Great fun!
Tell whence you came.
Right.
This is not your place.
And she says, my master. Obviously she thinks that we are the master, Irenicus. We're not. We're not a master. What can we do for you? She says, do for me? She's obviously quite enraged, probably mad with, well, whatever she's gone through. Thou hast created me in her image, but I'm not her. I am not. I shall never let you touch me again. Ugh. But we do find the last key that we were looking for.
Tortured creature that clone thing was. She was a copy? A copy of another person?
She says, I wonder why Irenicus made her. I doubt he took pleasure in her company. He's beyond that. He's fascinated by death.
The back for justice!
Over again. Well, again, we try to save the assassin this time, and the assassin decides to turn his blade on us.
Yeah.
I've dealt with too many assassins as of late, and I'm getting kind of tired of it.
Point, make way, villainy! Hero coming through!
Where shall I
deal with
display my
these
skill and
Dwegar.
expertise?
Go for
Try
the
to keep our
eyes!
distance.
Go for the eyes! So butt kicking, for goodness!
Try to take out the wand. Yeah, now that we have a little space to go move around. And of course, Yoshimo is quite talented at detecting
I have yet
traps.
to meet a danger I cannot defeat.
These traps can only be disarmed by these strange keys. Well, of course, start opening up the wands to allow us to take them all out. Now we can't identify these just yet, or rather we aren't going to identify these just yet, but we will take them out. We look. Of course, there's also a ring.
Challenging, the better.
So now we look in this room here. There appears to be more Dwegar. And of course, looks like an entire workshop he's got there. Maybe we can open this room here.
I don't die
Of course,
easily.
having some minute meteors is always
I'm just
useful.
glad I could help.
Let me have a taste. Come.
Ah, excellent. I see I'm provided fresh blood for once. The assassin says, "Where's your master, fiend?" We say, Irenicus. "I am already dead. Thief, join me in darkness." The assassin says, "Kill this creature." And of course, we can...
Weapon
Has no effect!
I'm not sure what that creature was. Maybe a vampire? Or whatever it was. It's gone now. But we still have a bunch of assassins. Take out the assassins, particularly the mage, first. They fall pretty quickly. Find this room here.
Out of this hellhole.
Strange man. He appears to be another prisoner of some kind, but yeah, we can try to get him out somehow. Although he wasn't like chained like we were. He wasn't, you know, trapped in a small cage like we were. It's actually pretty, well, pretty spacious area. It's a little bit strange, but you know, we can at least try to free him. Try to see what we can do. He seems quite eager. I mean, obviously. I mean, it's kind of strange. Do everything we can, anyway. Since there's a key in one of the chests. Find the key. We open it.
Get
Let's
me
talk to this
out of
individual
this
again.
hellhole.
So, who are you? I mean, you weren't imprisoned exactly the same way we were. Was that exactly the story? I was experimented on. What about you? You're just trapped here in a case? It's kind of strange. You seem a little eager. I'm not sure. You gotta...
Save me, dear sir.
Whoa!
Please, save me.
And this individual changes his shape to appear not as an older, larger man, but rather as a small boy. I've seen this kind of trickery before, and I am sick of it. Almost as sick as I am of assassins and water Davians. Yes, that's right. This is a doppelganger. You talk like a boy. The moment ago you appeared as an old man. I would know what you are before I free you. I've had enough of doppelgangers. Of course, the thing feigns ignorance. I'm not a whatever it is.
Save me, dear sir. Please, save me.
I'm not going to have my, I'm not going to have a danger trying to free you.
Gotcha good.
Yes.
I must have
So,
rest soon, my
necromancer.
friend.
Sorry, doppelganger. Last path out. Nymph can give us a little bit of healing.
Nice, friend.
Nice. Assassin. Ah, I knew there would be recruitments down here. I'll put an end to this here and now. This assassin. Doesn't seem to be working for Kalar, I'll tell you that much. Doesn't have that breath of zealot connected to him. He brings up a guild war. He knows who Irenicus is. Might as well ask him. Is he responsible for bringing us here? You'll get no answers from me, he says. He's got a strange dialect to him. And once says, get out of our way. I don't want to fight any of you. But I will go through you.
Pay attention. You will get no second chance.
Let's take them out. And suddenly 2 assassins pop out from behind us. These men are obviously quite skilled.
This sounds like it could be fun.
Feel it like great fun! Right?
Of course, it doesn't help much that we are actually
just glad
rather
I could help.
exhausted. Make our way out.
The tunnel slopes upward into the welcome glare of daylight. Such is your relief that you barely notice the debris at your feet, the remnants of a battle fought only moments before. Surveying the carnage, you hear a scream of rage, and a massive explosion collapses the passage behind you. The sounds of combat greet you as you struggle to your feet. The fight, it seems, is still going strong.
You dare to attack me here.
Gracie, you even know who you face.
You will suffer! You will all suffer! So, godchild, you have escaped. You are more resourceful than I had thought.
You're not going to torture us any longer.
Torture? Silly girl, you just don't understand what I'm doing, do you?
I don't care what you're doing. Let us go.
I won't let you leave, not when I'm so close to unlocking your power.
We don't want anything from you.
Enough! I will no longer listen to the babbling of ignorant children.
This is an unsanctioned use of magical energy. All involved will be held.
Must I be interrupted at every turn? Enough of this!
This mage's power is immense. We must overcome him quickly.
Enough! I haven't the time for this.
You will cease your spell casting and come with us.
Your pathetic magics are useless. Let this end.
Even if we fall, our numbers are many. You will be overwhelmed.
You bore me, Magely. You may take me in, but you will take the girl as well.
What? No. I've done nothing wrong.
You have been involved in illegal use of magic. You will come with us.
I'm not going with him. I'm not.
Armored, sharpened, and raring to go.
Minx says, "No, this cannot be. The murder of thine hair flees." This, by the way, is after every single warning to Ilthas and the group to not engage the mage. Just get out of there, get out of the dungeon, which, thank God, we have done. Or thank the gods. Yeah, decide which deity you want to worship. Anyway, Jahira says, I found it odd that Irenicus would just let him leave on his own volition. She says, we must step carefully. We know little about him, who he was fighting, and who took him, and who took Emwyn. Mix says, no, we must find our friend Emwyn quickly. The wizard may be fleeing as we speak. Jahira says, we can't be foolish. We need to know our enemies, the extent of what they intend. Jashimo says, the druid is right, my large friend. The wizard is obviously of great power. I doubt we've seen the last of him. We should see what's going on around here.
Is this important?
And we speak to this individual. This is Lair. And he says, what in the bloody blazes have you come from? Apparently, Irenicus had his whole setup underneath this large, I guess, market area? Yoshimo speaks up and says, yes, that's right. I know this area. Wizard and the whole men, you saw the whole thing? And Lair says, aye. Wizard's angrier than a dragon. Blasted the men in black. Wizard was, who killed him. Took half the promenade he did. Where exactly is this? And he says, this is Wokid's promenade. Center of trade in the city. And he says, who were the men who took Emwyn and the mage? Where can I find them? Emwyn? Aye, that's a girl. Yeah, she's taken. Maybe from the cowed ones. Cowed ones? Who are they? He says, you are new around here. Magic is forbidden in that Cadla. The cowed wizards, methinks. They took your friend. Unless, of course, you have permission to be casting spells. I'm not exactly sure, but you'll have to talk to them and see how that happens. And the Ilthas asks about the men in black, and this man says, no, he doesn't know much about them. They could be trouble, though. And Ilthas says we have to be going. Very helpful when good people come along.
Yes, that person was assuredly correct. This is Athkatla.
This is the center of the. We are the state of Am. I have no reason to doubt you. Are we far from the Sword Coast? She says no. Athkatla is along the lower edge of the Sword Coast, the southern edge. I wonder whom we angered that we should be brought here. We should lay low. Perhaps in the slums? And Ilthas says, we need to find a safe place to plan as we rest. Jahira says, I agree. I would suggest the slums. Low-profile work, especially the Copper Cornet. Someone might have heard of your capture and might know where Emwyn is. Khalid, Sylvanas. Let him hear my vow. If I must, I will empty the city of all within to find his killer. So I swear. Ilthas says, it's a fine sentiment. I'll aid as best I can. Jahira says, it's my want to do this, and I'll see it done properly. But if you insist, more the better. And if not, then just be prepared to stand aside. And with that, that's going to wrap us up for the day. Thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in seeing my other videos, then subscribe to the channel and leave the video a like. With that, thank you so much for watching. Take care and good luck. We're all counting on you.